On September 14, 2 people were killed in Donetsk region as a result of Russian bombardments, said Pavlo Kyrylenko, the head of the Donetsk Regional Military Administration. He added that the enemy shellings killed 2 people in duly and wounded 13 other people. It is currently impossible to determine the accurate number of victims in Mariupol and Volnovakha, Mr. Kyrylenko wrote. On the night of September 15, Russian military shelled Toretsk territorial community, which caused damage to the surgery department of the Central City Hospital, reported the press service of the Toretsk City Military Administration. They added that the hospital's children and surgical departments suffered destruction. In the maternity home, windows were damaged. As a result, junior nurses suffered injuries, the press service reported. The attack occurred at around midnight September 15. The missile struck the woods in Kharkiv's Kievsky district, said Oleg Sinehubov, the head of the Kharkiv Regional Military Administration, early on September 15. He also noted that shellings of Vovchansk town on September 14-15 damaged 5 houses. According to the Emergency Medical Aid Center, a 54-year-old man tripped a mine and suffered injuries. The Kharkiv Regional Police suggest that the woods were hit by an S-300 anti-aircraft missile and say that a crater was formed at the site of the strike. In Kryvyi Rih, they are combating the consequences of the missile attack on the city's hydrotechnical facilities. Alexander Vilkul, the head of the Kryvyi Rih City Military Administration, posted on Telegram. According to Kakhovka operational group of troops, the Russian army launched 8 cruise missiles at the facility to cause an emergency situation. The water level in the Inhulets River rose 5 times. To prevent the city from flooding, the special services conducted a controlled explosion of another dam near Chornonirka, Mr. Vilkul said. The explosion will allow decreasing the water flow to the city's Centralnomysky and Inhuletsky districts. People say a missile hit the dam, that's why the water flow is like this. I heard one blast, then the second, after that third and fourth. The missiles were flying right above our cooperative. I saw 3 missiles fly. Then the water started rising very quickly, maybe for 5 or 6 meters. The river side over there, we had a raft and a rope swing there. Now it's gone, it's flooded. Early on September 15, we know that 112 cottages and land lots are flooded. However, as Mr. Vilkul noted, the water level is beginning to drop. The water reached the second step. From 5 a.m., the water level started to fall, and before that it was only rising. Everyone was on duty here. You see, on mattresses and plastic foam. We gathered some sand and put it over there. The water didn't go through, but it came from the basement. The heat meter is installed there. The electricity is already down. The terrorist state continues to wage a war against civilians, this time missile strikes on hydraulic structures and an attempt to flood Kryvyi Rih. All the occupiers can do is sow panic, create an emergency situation, try to leave people without light, heat, water and food. President Volodymyr Zelensky commented on the missile attack on Kryvyi Rih. Valentin Reznichenko, the head of Dnipropetrovsk Regional Military Administration, announced that on the night of September 15, the troops of the Russian Federation attacked Nikopolsky district with BM-21 and a kamikaze drone. A Nikopol was under fire 4 times. 10 private houses, 114 solar power plant panels, a sanatorium and 2 local enterprises were damaged, he wrote. A power line was damaged in Marhanets Hromada. More than 700 families are without electricity. There were no casualties or injuries as a result of the shelling. On September 13, artillery shells, mortar mines and shots from a handheld anti-tank grenade launcher were found on the territory of Sumy region. The main department of State Emergency Service of Sumy region reported about a total of 19 explosive objects. Pyrotechnicians of the Interregional Center for Humanitarian Demining and Rapid Response of the State Emergency Service of Ukraine surveyed the territories of Okhtyrsky, Konotopsky and Sumsky districts. A day earlier, 50 explosive devices were found in these areas. Before the full-scale war, chickens lived in this extension to the barn. Now two sisters, Paraskovia and Vera, live here. The elder Vera is 87 years old and the younger Paraskovia is 79. A day before the retreat of the Russians, a shell hit their house. I arrived, but the house burned down and there is nothing. Everything burned. Then I come and sit here. Together with her sister Paraskovia, they decided not to go anywhere from here, to stay and live together. The only surviving building in the yard is a chicken coop. I built, worked like a slave. The ceiling here has been knocked down, so we are sleeping here. Here I was given a flashlight. So in the evening we will turn it on and have dinner. My sister is sleeping here and I sleep here. Food is prepared on a fire in the middle of the yard. This is where tea was heated and this is where water was heated. One of the sisters saw volunteers in the yard who were sorting out the rubble of houses. She says to me, "Are you like these volunteers?" I didn't really understand at first and I asked, maybe volunteers, and she answered, "Oh yes, we make fun of each other now, call each other lanterns." The volunteers decided to build a new home for the sisters on the site of the shed. A direct hit to the house, nothing remained of the house. It was made of wood and faced with bricks. Everything that was wooden, it all burned down. All that remained was the chicken coop in which they live. We still wondered how they could live here. It's a casement, 1.5 by 2 meters, and the wall of the barn remained. That's where the walls were built and the roof still remains. They have been working here for the second month for 3-4 hours a day. Materials for construction were provided by charitable organizations, philanthropists and caring citizens of Chernihiv. Interior decoration, paint the walls, lay linoleum, make a ceiling in the room, put the stove on which they can cook food. The sisters will be able to move into the house in 1.5-2 months. There will be a grandmother's house, so beautiful. This will be home.